What is up? And howdy doody. Howdy doody, and what is up? It's the morning. Well, it's the afternoon, actually. Jesus. Why, hello there. Hi there. Say, what's going on here? You like my sweatshirt? Yeah, it's a Kid Rock sweatshirt. It says Kid Rock on it. Oh, thank you, honey bear. I'm just admiring my Rock merch.
Yeah.
Now that's good. My name is Kid Rock. That's right, Massage Paul. Once again, you guys are correct. I'm on the good side of the dirt. Yeah. That's an old one. I had an uncle that would say that. He's no longer on the good side of the dirt, but yeah. I remember that. That's like a flashback phrase from when I was a kid. The look of the Irish. Stepping in dog shit in your bad shoes. I see. I see. Bust it down, like all the way to the floor. Are you telling me to get low? You don't want me to get low. You think you've seen Shorty get low? You ain't seen it. You ain't seen it, my man. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about, my man. Today's my birthday, and all my friends are here. Oh. Yeah. Dude, you want me to bust it down all the way to the ground? I mean, you better alert the media. That's all I'm saying. You better alert the media and the National Geological Survey and everybody else to be on high alert. Hauling the planet is built for that. You are not prepared for Paul to make a clap. It doesn't clap. It doesn't. It's like the wall of death. You ever seen that at a metal show? That's not a clap, okay? It's like a collision. It's like an impact, okay? Mm-hmm. Shockwaves. It'll knock down a whole crowd. They'll be like, ah. They're like, ah. He was once a thug from around the way. My life was never easy. I thought you were flat back there. Nose. Double decker, triple decker, quadruple decker. Did I get a BBL? I was born with a BBL. I came out ass first and I thought I was twins. Think about that. What you think about them? I was gonna say apples, but at that point they were more like cantaloupes. I have listened to the new Playboy Cardi album. It is dope. Dope. Where do you get your energy and drive? Caffeine, nicotine, and THC. Nicotine, Valium, Vicodin, marijuana, ecstasy, and alcohol. Flatter than a cutting board? Bruh. Bruh. Favorite rapper of all time? Ruler Rick, a.k.a. Slick Rick, a.k.a. MC Ricky. D, that's me in the place to be. Call me Dumbledore. I'll slap your mouth. You leave Sigourney out of this, okay? She ain't doing nothing to you. There's no need to drag Sigourney into whatever vendetta you got against me, okay? You leave Sigourney alone. Her parents already named her Sigourney, okay? She doesn't need any other fucking hate. All right. Loving the bird sounds. Oh yeah, the ambiance. Hey D. Let me go hunt this dog. Ooh. Jeez, D. Why do you wander so much? Wandering D. You checking out that? You checking out that yard a little bit? Checking out your yard a little bit. Chirpity, chirpity, chirp. That hoodie looks cool. I know. Kid Rock, the hoodie, dude. Everybody's favorite guy. Greetings from Napoli. Some of my relatives lives in America. Napoli. Real question: why'd you rage quit against vegan gains? Because he wouldn't answer a simple fucking question and wasn't interested in speaking about the philosophy of war and the consequences of war. He was interested in reading talking points, most of which he had scalped off of Destiny, and I already had that conversation. You know what I mean? So there you go. Where are you from, dude? From the land of the ice and snow. Are you a ghost hunter? Do I look like a ghost hunter? If you want me to be a ghost hunter, I could be a ghost hunter. No, I'm not really into any of the March Madness stuff. Which questions did he dodge, in your opinion? How he reconciled his position on animals with his position on Palestinian children. How he reconciled his talking point that the Palestinians had advanced weapons manufactories that needed to be bombed. Really wasn't willing to dig any deeper into those talking points. He just wanted to state them as is. And then, the ultimate talking point being, is there a genocide going on in Gaza right now? And his answer is no, not because there isn't a genocide in Gaza, but because there needs to not be a genocide in Gaza for him to be correct. And that's just a waste of my time. That's just a waste of my time. You don't think he ever said Gazans were manufacturing their rockets? You need to go rewatch the thing. There shouldn't be any, I don't think, you see? It's a video that's still up right here on this channel. Why don't you go refresh your memory? That was a big part of the argument, was that they were forging metal for rocket parts in hot metal forges. And that is why we had to carpet bomb Gaza into dust. So you're going to have to, if you're going to hold on to a conversation that's like over half a year old, you might want to keep yourself fresh on it. Just throwing that out there. Hello, D. You smelling some BBQ? I'm smelling some BBQ. Somebody having a BBQ. You smell it? I smell the BBQ. Oh. You ever do that? Rolling your neck? Do I need a chiropractor? Dude, I need a whole new spine, bro. Leave my dent alone. You leave my streamer's dent alone, okay? What's your name, man? Are you married? Any child? I am married. No children. You don't know why the dent is so hilarious? I don't know either. Well, I love beanies so much. I don't know. I think they're cool to put on your head. You know, I kind of grew up in the 80s and 90s when beanies were pretty popular. Keep your head warm and such. Is that okay? Are you trying to turn me into your Dapper Dan doll? I know my beard is cool. I'm aware. Fully aware. I've got the best beard of all beards. I personally don't like beanies. Guess you and I just disagree on everything, huh, Mikey Mike? What do you think about Trump trying to just shut down the Department of Education outright? Well, there are certain parts of the Department of Education that he can't shut down. I mean, there are like outstanding loans through the DOE and shit. All of that shit's gonna keep going. It's the superstructure of the DOE that's he's getting rid of, and he's probably gonna end up folding it back into like it was like Health and Human Services or whatever the fuck. It was part of another thing. I sing no fucking eulogy for the Department of Education. In my mind, they've been failing for about 30 years to, provide a decent public education for America, and we're all reaping the whirlwind from that fucking negligence. So, good riddance to bad rubbish. They've been beyond failing. They've been useless. 60% of Americans can't read. It's time. Time for a shakeup. What are my hat pins? They are. One of them says salty. And then the other one is Peelander Pink from Peelander Z. I got that at a Peelander Z concert many years ago. Won't it be worse though? Yeah, maybe. Yeah, in some states it likely will. You think eliminating the DOE will fix that? No, but it will create an impetus for something else to be created in its place. It'll leave a vacuum and maybe a necessary shakeup to the educational system. Do I have TDS? I don't think so. I've got VDS, but no TDS. Yeah, I don't think that the modern political system is equipped to provide us with a good replacement. You're probably correct. I wonder if people are going to get pissed off about that. Yeah, I wonder if people are going to, like, get angry enough about their children's education being fucked with that, maybe they'll rise up and do some stuff. That'd be nice. What do you think of Trump pulling federal funding from libraries and museums? Welcome to a Republican presidency. Welcome to slashing so-called entitlements and enrichments. This is what happens when a Republican wins the presidency. It'd be awful to live through and raise a child through. Yeah. It's one of those things. They're going hard after Social Security. They've been going hard after Social Security. And I'm talking both parties have slashed Social Security benefits, borrowed against the Social Security fund to the point that it's insolvent, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So Social Security has been on the chopping block forever, bro. It has been slowly but surely invalidated in the United States. I've been talking about how there's a good chance that my generation won't get to cash a Social Security check for fucking like 30 years. So this, like, all this shit that people think came out of nowhere with Trump is actually the result of a constant slide to the political right. The Overton window and what is considered to be centrism has slidden so far. It's done such a fucking slide to the right that it's indistinguishable. That's what's going on. This isn't like Trump just came out of the ether and decided to do all this crazy shit. This is the natural outcome of a Republican administration followed by an arch Republican administration and then another Republican administration. You see what I mean? You keep electing these soft, capitulating, do nothing, centrist pieces of shit Democrats, and nothing ever gets rolled back. Nothing ever gets pushed back against. And slowly but surely, all of these American institutions erode. I mean, that's already true, Midnight Ghoul. Even in the best of circumstances where we got like a nice functioning public education system, parents need to be on top of that shit. Send your child to school and let them handle all of the teaching of your child is a way to get your child fucked up. Like, whatever happens with public education, parents need to step it the fuck up and get involved in their children's education again. The problem is that a lot of people that are parents now are people who the education system failed. You see? And this is generational problem. This is not a Trump problem. This is not a problem that just appeared with Donald Trump. Should homeschooling be illegal? I think without any kind of overarching guidance system and without any kind of feedback on what's going on in the home, yes, I don't think people should be keeping their children out of fucking school. many books did I read last year? Let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 6 or so, 7, something like that. 5 million books. Do you count audiobooks? I do, yes. Do you believe that Trump is being too reckless on the world stage? Too reckless on the world stage. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of feel like recklessness on the world stage is kind of part and parcel now. Neuromancer. Good book. Cool book. Very cool. I don't know if it's a guaranteed way to raise a child to be socially maladjusted, but it definitely pushes your child farther in that direction, I think, than a public education would. So what books were they? Last year I read The Three Body Problems. That's 3 books. I read Man After Man for the first time, which is really, really cool. And All Tomorrows. That's my 5 there. And then I read a couple of like Warhammer novels. I read Blood and Talons and what was the other? The last Eisenhorn book, Malleus. And there's probably a few more I'm missing, honestly, but those are the ones I remember reading last year. Were people afraid of what Bush was doing in 2001? I was only 13 at the time. I remember people hating Bush. Yes. This very, there's a lot of parallels between the Bush presidency and the Trump presidency when it comes to the kind of concentrating power in the executive, using the executive order, pushing legislation that kind of undermined American institutions, gearing up for war, the whole nine. There's a lot of parallels if you really take time to learn about that presidency. That's one of the problems, though. One of the problems we face is that there's people that are politically knowledgeable, but only about stuff that's happened in the last 2 or 3 years, right? And there is a mindset amongst people. It's not always, oh, I choose to ignore the past. It's like there's a mindset amongst people that what happened in the past doesn't matter, and this is just basic human shit to me. If you don't learn your history, you're doomed to repeat it, type of thing, right? And there are people that are just completely and utterly dismissive and lacking in knowledge about, you know, a scant 10, 15, 20 years ago in American politics. And I think that if they were to study those transitional periods in American politics over the last 10, 15 years, 20 years, 30 years would be even better. I think that a whole lot of people would be a whole lot less confused and frightened by what Trump is doing. And they would see it as a natural extension of a long, long game. We repeat history even when we do know it. Yeah, but you have a chance to not repeat it, right? If you're aware of the historical mistake that was made, at the very least, there's a chance that people will try something else or push for something else. As it stands right now, there's a lot of political wonks that if you were to ask them about something that happened more than 2, 3, 4 years ago, they'd just go blank. You can't really have that. You know what I mean? Just like this slashing the budgets of institutions, slashing the budgets of so-called entitlement programs, monkeying around with long-standing American institutions, monkeying around with the Bill of Rights, monkeying around with protections against oligarchy, monkeying around in foreign countries. It's standard fucking republicanism. You're correct, but that chance is evaporating and we continue to make the same mistake. Yeah, I know. Well, that's because the chance is evaporating because most people don't have historical perspective. Most people treat Donald Trump like he came out of nothing. Like he's like a boogeyman that came running out of the closet. You know, like Donald Trump is a natural extension of the political trajectory of the last fucking 100 years. And all it takes is cracking a history book, learning some recent American history for you to see that. You think they get off on squeezing the lower class? I don't know if they get off on it. I don't know if get off on it is the right terminology. I just think it's part and parcel of how they do business now. I don't think there's much thought about it, to be honest. You don't smell no BBQ. You don't smell that BBQD? I smell that BBQ. It's not that barbecues. Come on, you can do it. Oh, such a fluff monster now. Oh, look how fluffy he is, everybody. Look how fluffy he is. So pretty and fluffy today. Aren't you? You look over here. Let them see you. Let them see you. Why are you such a camera shy? Oh. How old is he? He's 9. 9 years old. Doggy. Hey, thanks. I don't know what that is, but thanks, buddy. We like them super stickers. It's a 100% rated veteran. Trump is cutting 80K VA jobs, scares the shitballs out of me. Oh, yeah. Well, the VA is another one of these organizations and governmental bureaucracies that's been slowly chipped away at, right? I mean, the VA underserving veterans and being understaffed and underfacilitated is not new. In fact, it's old. It's America has almost always treated its veterans like dog shit. Why do you think he's so camera shy? I think he thinks that the camera is going to steal his soul. He's a native. He believes that there's a demon in the camera that's going to snatch his soul. He knows. They don't want a camera. You'd rather not have a camera. You ever thought about serving in the military? Nope. Martial law coming on 420. Is that the day? The day martial law is coming? We're talking about like the actual, like the military is going to take over like policing and curfewing, right? We're not talking about martial law from Tekken, right? The Asian Bruce Lee guy. Different martial law, right? They're not going to send in the Asian Bruce Lee, right? What would you say to a Tesla terrorist? A Tesla terrorist? Dude, bro, wiping duty on somebody's car and keying somebody's car is not terrorism, bro. I'm sorry to tell you this. I'm sorry to be the guy that had to fucking fill you guys in. But scooping some mud from between your butt cheeks and smearing it on a Tesla is not terrorism. It's vandalism. Okay, we have actually a terminology for what that is in the American justice system. It's called vandalism. It's not terrorism, bro. Somebody smearing duty on your car is not terrorism, bro. Yeah, worse. Yeah, it's basically on par with the 9/11 attacks, on par with the roadside bombing attacks, on par with car bombings. Pooping on somebody's car. You have to be fucking joking. Lighting them on fire? Well, that's fucking different, man. I mean, if you're burning the entire thing, but I got to be honest with you. I feel like if somebody really did an investigation into who's burning up these Tesla dealerships and shit, I feel like that the fucking line would trace right back to Elon. That's got to be some fat insurance payouts on that. It's got to be some big, giant insurance payouts on that. Kind of want to get a Tesla while they're cheap. I wouldn't. Elon doesn't need more money. Yet he still pursues it. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. Car poop smear and some arson attacks on fucking unoccupied vehicles equals 9/11 part 2, guys. It's terrorism. It's just so fucking goofy, dude. Or were you such a big Elon fan for a while? I gotta be honest with you, I'm still a fan of Elon's work with SpaceX and shit. And that's why. I saw Elon, especially, you're talking like 15 years ago, 10 years ago, was the only American millionaire / billionaire, right, that was doing anything to push the envelope on space exploration and shit. So, you know. Elon Musk hacked my Fitbit, and now I can't dance anymore. Oh no. Oh, no. Did you see Trump was going to pay for the astronaut overtime? That's cool. He should. I mean, I assume they were getting paid anyway for being up there, but I guess he's going to pay him some OT. That's cool. Am I in the Appalachians? Maybe. Could be. Is there a question you use to gauge a person's political knowledge? Not a single question. You got to have a conversation with a person. Who? Chat's getting a little tweaky. Yeah, you think so? You think so? What kind of animals do I see out here in the mythical forest? Oh, here's what I know lives out here. I have not laid eyes on every one of these creatures. You got your possums, you got your raccoons, you got your squirrels and chipmunks of different varieties, right? You got your birds, you got your bees, you got coyotes, you got bears, you got mountain lions, you got various sundry mountainy bugs, owls, and el cucuy. And that's it. Favorite streamer? You ever watch Paul Zigo? I like that guy. I like that Paul Zigo guy. What kind of bears? Black and brown. Jackalopes, yeah. The occasional jackalope. Did you call yourself a weed streamer? Nah. Because I'm not like constantly going like, whoa, dude, what's up? It's 420. Here's what I'm smoking on today. Man, I've got a minty fucking, I'm not. I just happen to, smoke a joint while I'm streaming a lot. Hey guys, it's Custom Grow 420. Oh, will you be trying mountain biking? I'm kind of building towards that, hopefully. I don't know about mountain biking. But I'm currently in physical therapy stuff. Working on my back and trying to build like core strength and muscle support strength around the parts of my spine that are severely damaged. And it's a process, man. I want, like, my goal is to be able to do things that are relatively normal again, lifting things in moderation, walking around a lot. My back starts to give out the longer I'm, kind of out and about in a place. And I would like to be able to have, the ability to do that for 3 or 4 hours and not have it kill me, you know? So that's that. But I think it would be quite disastrous for me to try and do that now. Would you ever bungee jump? No. I would skydive, but I would not bungee jump. Make that make sense. I feel like bungee jumping is more dangerous than skydiving, personally. I would skydive. In fact, there's a part of me that really would like to skydive. Well, three, because I've got step parents as well. So three of my four parents have done skydiving. My mom, my dad, and my stepdad have all done skydiving. And as a result of that, you know what I mean? I don't fear it as much as everybody else. And it just looks like it was a fucking ball. So I would do that shit. Yeah, I know. There's limits on your skydiving weight and all of that, and I'm above that weight, so there's no way I could skydive now. I think your first couple of jumps have to be tandem jumps before you can ever do a solo jump, and none of my parents did multiple jumps. Yeah, they did it one time, and they thought like, well, that was good, that was enough. I feel like I'd be the same way. A friend asked a girl on a date by inviting her to skydive, and they did. What a Chad. That is a Chad move, yeah. Terrified of heights. Yeah, I'm pretty scared of heights as well. But I could see myself doing the skydiving as a way of facing that out a little bit, maybe. Face that fear. I did 57 jumps. Jesus. You a military dude? Try a static jump first. You're talking about like one of those fan jumps? Where they put you in a big fan, like air chamber, and they use the big fan to blow you? Army combat medic paratrooper, yeah. That amount of jumps, you're either like a skydiving instructor or a paratrooper. You know what I mean? 57 jumps is crazy. Baby.
Sweet.
Sorry, baby. You jump from much lower, like 1,000 feet. Parachute is hooked to a static line that pulls itself. Oh, okay. I see. Would Amelia ever like to go skydiving?
No.
She'll pass. I don't know that I ever will do it, but I know that I would do it. How many glasses do I own? I have 2 pairs of glasses. One for what I'm supposed to wear like when I'm just around, and one that I'm supposed to wear more for like reading and shit.
Computer stuff.
Computer stuff, yeah. Should probably be wearing those for this instead of these, but these help.
Plus, it gives you a little sun protection for your eyes.
Which I need. Got fair eyes, so I need a little fucking sunlight protection on them. That was a quick no. Amelia knows. Amelia doesn't dither about things like that. How do the self-charging watches work, like the Rolex ones, etc.? Self-charging?
You mean like the ones where your arm moves?
So there's a lever on the back of a lot of watches. I've actually shown you the back of my Zarek watch before, and it's got this like very loose weighted arm that spins around with your body movement. So as you're gesticulating, it's gear ratioed down, so it's not like over winding. It slowly but surely adds wind to your watch as you wear it.
But, you know, it requires that you wear it enough to charge it.
Right. If you take it off your wrist and you don't wear it for a couple of days, most of the automatic watches, especially you're talking about like even Rolexes, you're looking at like somewhere between a 40 and a 60-hour power reserve on most watches. Some are higher, some are lower, depending on the caliber that's inside. But about you get about 40 to 50 hours out of a watch wind if you fully wind a watch. And then it'll start to run down unless it's got an automatic winder on it, or it's a mecha quartz or just a full quartz. Quartz movements are battery operated, so and a lot of times quartz movements are battery operated with a solar backing, so the face of the watch is charging the little tiny lithium ion battery in there. And a lot of times people might never need to change the quartz batteries on their watches as a result of that, or maybe only once in a watch's lifetime. There are watches other than digital that would work in space. Yeah, the original watch that went to space was the Omega. It was it was at a, or am I wrong about? No, I think it is an Omega. Yeah, it's an Omega. And I think Omega won the competition that NASA did to try and create a high tolerance watch that would perform the same under different gravitational conditions, right? And remain like instrument panel accurate, right? Because astronauts need to be able to time certain, especially back then, they need to be able to time certain manual things. And so those watches could not be dragging seconds. You know what I mean? They needed to be very precise, very tolerant watches. So in terms of like the astronaut can't be worried about banging the watch into shit. They need to be shock resistant. There's a lot of things they need to
It's
have.
probably $1 million watch if you could find it today.
If you get one of the watches that went up with
Yeah.
an astronaut, yes. They did release those watches after, obviously, and you can get the same watch that went up to the moon for way less, like the same model, but you cannot. Yeah, I mean, I've never even heard of. I'd imagine the astronauts probably kept those,
Yeah.
and their families probably keep them as well. But yeah, the Omega, I think it's a Speedmaster that went to the moon. Omega Speedmaster is an entirely mechanical watch. There's nothing digital about it. It's entirely mechanically regulated.
Speaking of stuff that happened a long time ago, did you see George Foreman died?
Did he really?
Yeah.
Damn. That sucks. One of the top 5 watch brands. That's going to be dependent on taste. For me, when you're talking about like popularity and luxury watch brands, right? The top 5 are probably Rolex, Audemars Piguet, Richard Mille, Patek Philippe, and then you get like a flex pick in there. A lot of people will probably say Vacheron Constantine. A lot of people would say Alon and Sona. It just depends on how you feel about watches. But yeah, there's quite a few like flex pick watchmakers that you could put in that 5th slot. Top 5 in what category? Well, like for me, I was doing top 5 in fit, finish, complications, calibers, workmanship, craftsmanship. If you want like a watch, because like the watches that I own, they're cool. But the fit and finish on them is so far below even something like an entry tier luxury watch, something like a Breitling or like that, right? That it's obvious and noticeable, right? And the calibers that are on the inside of that, that is the guts of the watch, the mechanism that runs the watch and regulates the watch and stores the power reserve for the watch, all that, right? Those are not all made equal. There are mass produced Chinese or Japanese movements in a lot of cases that are used in a lot of affordable mechanical watches, right? And a lot of the brands that I mentioned use either in-house calibers. So these are, calibers that are specifically designed to be inside of a certain type of watch, their watch, or they use high-end Swiss calibers or German calibers, depending on the brand, right? So these are like a lot more craftsmanship. A lot of them are hand engraved, so that when you look through the case back, it's just this beautiful gold filigree and hand engraved shit, right? So we're talking fit, finish, the quality of the craftsmanship, and the quality of the raw materials that go into it. I've seen the U-Work watches, yeah. It's like that belt-driven thing, right? Ingersoll Waterbury, yeah. You like smartwatches? No, not a big fan. I think they're cool. Like I don't judge people for wearing it. I just don't care to own one. Yeah. I like mechanical watches and digital watches as well. I own one full digital, one Mecha Quartz, and then 3 mechanical watches. So cuckoo clocks? Ooh, yeah. I never had one growing up. I did have an aunt that had a big grandfather clock, and that is something that I think would be cool to own at some point. It's just like, when do you ever buy a grandfather clock? You know what I mean? When does that happen in your life? You know? Does a watch that has a cuckoo exist? I'm sure it does. There are some crazy, like Ulysses Nardin makes some crazy fucking complications. They've got this one, Ulysses Nardin does, where there are 2 like gold guys with hammers, and there's like a little gold button, and it's a minute or hour repeater. So you set it up, and at the top of every hour or at the top of every minute, those guys will go. They actually move, and their little hammers hit that bell, and it goes ding 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 ding. There's some crazy ones. There's a FP Jordan watch that is a hand, right? And it'll go like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, 5. And then the hand will rotate and start doing it again for 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. It's like fucking crazy, bro. There's some really, really nutty watch complications out there. And you got watches that play musical chimes. Like there's I don't particularly like them, but Jacob and Co makes high end watches, and a lot of their watches will play like music. Well, mechanically fascinating. Those freaking chimes drive me crazy. Yeah, I mean, I don't think they're for everybody. My holy grail watch is an Along and Zona Zeitwerk Grandmaster chime. I will never probably even see one in person, let alone hold one, let alone own one. You know what I mean? But every watch nerd has like a watch that they would, it would be their fucking best watch. how much it costs. I mean, you can't even really get one from the manufacturer, and secondary market on Zyteworks, it exists. I would say I'd probably, like, if I wanted to get one on the secondary market, especially the configuration that I want. I don't just want a Zytework. I want the Grandmaster Chime Zytework. Probably 350K, 400K, something like that. Did you window shop at a fancy watch place? I have. Yeah, I've done it. I've looked at some nice watches up close. Yeah. I mean, like, you're talking like a lot of high end watches. So, Richard Mille is one of the brands that I mentioned. Richard Mille watches, depending on which configuration and how rare the configuration is, go for well over $1 million. There are dudes out there that walk around with like 1.5 million on their wrist. And if you look at Richard Milles, they're cool looking, but they're not gold. Usually, you can get rose gold and yellow gold and white gold Richard Milles. But those are typically one of one special pieces that are made. Your typical Richard Mille is made with carbon fiber. It's like carbon fiber body and all of that stuff, and so it's not even like precious metals. I've seen Dubuis, yeah. 900K for the Journe hand watch, yeah. They're wild, dude. They're just absolutely wild. I mean, when we were talking about those types of watches, you don't walk around in public with those anywhere. The guys that own these like 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 and up watches, those watches live in a bank vault. They come out for charity events. You hire personal security when you go to the charity event. You know what I mean? You have a safe at your home, and you have personal fucking security guards that control the perimeter of your home, and you keep those watches in a safe in the home. You know what I mean? If you have a couple that you want to wear, you don't just go for a stroll in a watch like that anywhere. I mean, maybe like if you live in the middle of, like if you live in the country, you know what I mean? You live out in the middle of nowhere and you're low key rich. I don't think anybody's even gonna know you're wearing fucking $900,000 on your wrist. But you don't go in a big city strolling around flexing your Richard Mille, because people will just walk up and knock you out and strip it off your wrist. I mean, that's a house on your wrist. You ever hear rappers talk about that? Like, I've got your house on my wrist. I've got your whole life on my wrist. They mean it in a lot of cases when it comes to some of these watches. Or would you even resell a stolen watch for 400K? Black market. I don't know that you'll get 400K up out of it. You get 50K, right? An easy fucking walk up and strip a watch, and you got $50,000. If you don't know anybody, you know what I mean? It's like crazy. Somebody's gonna buy that, snap it up real quick. People don't care where shit came from. You know what I mean? 50K would be a huge loss. It's a 50K profit for nothing. Like, you don't think that the guys that strip things get market value off of things. Like, you don't think stick up boys, like when they get something off of you, that they get market value off of it, right? That's 50. So if somebody's walking around with 500K on their wrist, that's a quick lick. That's a quick 50K lick for nothing. It's not a loss. That's a quick lick. What mob movie was the guy trying to sell a watch and the other mobster said it's a fugazi? It wasn't a watch, it was a diamond. It was Donnie Brasco. And he's looking at a guy's ring and he's like, that ring's a fugazi. What do you mean it's a fugazi? Fugazi means a fake. I know what fugazi means. You don't know what you're talking about. Yeah. a lot of these watches are like numbered and attached to the person who purchased it. You can't just go anywhere and sell it. Yeah. Yeah, these high end watches are serial numbered, and there are papers, and there's transfer of ownership stuff. Now, of course, there is what they call a gray market for these luxury watches. So it can be really hard, in fact, almost impossible for a person to walk into a Rolex dealership and walk out with a watch ever, right? But people will buy them, like sell them to a certified jeweler or a dealer, right, with box and papers and stuff. And once the watch has transferred ownership 3 or 4 times, the worth of that number, kind of diminishes, right? But you're absolutely right. If you're talking about a dude that owns his Richard Mille, you want to strip that off of his wrist. Any legit dealership where you're going to get anything like 400K up out of it is going to look at that reference number, contact the owner that's registered, and ask them if their watch was stolen. The owner's going to say yes. The owner's going to get their watch back, and somebody's going to jail, right? You can't. It's the same thing with like high-end cars. Like you steal a Lambo, that Lambo is like, well, a lot of those fucking things are low jacked to shit now, so you can't really steal them. But assuming you did, good luck getting what that Lambo is worth up out of it. We're gonna double up Kid Rock today.
Why not? If you're gonna wear it, I'm gonna wear it.
Oh God. I bought a Rolex replica from China. It was so light, the thing was like a feather. Yeah. I mean, these replicas can look pretty dead on. Like your average person is not gonna know you're wearing a fake Rolly if you get a Chinese knockoff Rolly for a couple grand or whatever. But you're not gonna get the quality materials. You're not gonna get the right caliber. You're gonna get a Miyota caliber at it. You're gonna get, I think it's a good way to get one much cheaper broken on eBay and then have them repaired. Yeah, I do that. The doggies are chirping. Yeah, they are. Never schnozzy gosling. Oh.
Tense today.
Yep. I am tense. I'm having me a tense day. You tense too, D. We both having a tense day. What do you think?
You get to go out with us today.
That's true. That's true. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have fun today. It'll be good times.
I think he looks okay.
Mm-hmm. Fluffy as all get out. Fluffy is all get out. Poofy and floofy is all get out.
Yeah, there ain't nothing you can do about that cow lick on his head.
Nope. He just got a cow leg. I'm gonna grow a sack and stop being a people pleaser. I don't know, man. I can't walk you through a fucking whole personality change. I assume it's probably different for everybody. People respond to things differently, even if they've got like similar traumas. They respond differently. For me, it was the term selfishness and coming to grips with the fact that it's not an inherent negative. Looking after yourself means that you're available for other people, right?
I think a lesson too is if you go above and beyond without being asked, people just start expecting it of you.
Sure. And then there are like people who are naturally inclined towards leaning on people who are people pleasers, right? There's a symbiotic or parasitic relationship there implied, I guess.
Yeah, I'm basically just saying, like, people start expecting you to do shit.
Yeah.
It's not seen as above and beyond anymore after a point.
Yeah. I mean, the big moment for me was having, you know, the bottom fall out of my life. I got a divorce, and, you know, I had invested in all of these people, and that was part of the problem. People pleasers look at being kind to people as an investment in the future. I'm going to be really kind to this person, and maybe one day I'll stumble and they'll be there to pick me up. But, you know what I mean? Like, you find out pretty quickly that being a people pleaser doesn't earn you that status. And when I figured that out, when I figured out that the transactional way that I was, and it's not like I wasn't doing it from the heart. It's not like I was doing it surreptitiously. It's just that I expected that was part and parcel of being good to people. It's like, you're good to your friends will be good to you. It's treat others as you would want them to treat you type of stuff, right? At least that's how it came off from me. But what it engendered was quite a few people who, you know what I mean, had come to rely on me for being a reliable person, but felt no impetus to be reliable for me when I needed it, you know. If that hasn't happened yet in a large enough way in your life, you might not even be ready to face what I'm talking about. It's one thing to hear it from a person, and it's another thing to experience it. I don't think that before all of that happened to me, I would have listened to a guy saying what I'm saying now and thought, like, man, that ain't me. Other people, that must suck for other people. You know? And you realize people just take and rarely give. I mean, it's not even really about that. See, you're thinking transactionally again.
Yeah, like, what I'm saying is, like, people expect it of you, but they're not, like, intentionally necessarily, like, taking and not intending to give. They just...
Right.
You set that expectation, and people are gonna assume that you're gonna keep doing it.
Yeah.
I guess a good analogy would be like if you brought donuts into your work every morning and then you just didn't do it one day, people would be like, what the fuck, where are the donuts?
Yeah, right. That's a good point. Tea. I wonder if there's any more coffee.
There should be.
I need a scotch more coffee. You gonna come up again? You need to stay for a little while. Why don't you stay? Why don't you get comfy and stay for just a little bit? I'm gonna be a streamer for a minute, D. Take over the stream, please. Scared me with that crotch shot. Sorry about that.
We had to clean it up the other day.
What?
Oh, like his little mitts and stuff.
Oh, they were talking about my crotch shot, I think. But yeah, we had to give Dinor the old sanitary snip the other day. It's a 2-person affair with us, but we got it done. She thought you were talking about Dinor's crotch. Yay, Paul, don't be showing hog like that. Oh, sorry, dude. Sorry. My bad. Do you like Lil Wayne? Lil Wayne. Yes. Okay. I don't listen to a lot of Lil Wayne, but he's all right.
What?
What is it? How can I help you, sir? Do you like?
Yes or no questions aren't great.
Yeah. I guess rap isn't your music. No, dude. Gotcha.
Yeah, if you don't like Lil Wayne.
Yeah. Yeah. Good one. I'm just trolling a wee bit. Are you really? Are you really, though? Is it you who's trolling me? Or am I trolling you? Think about it. Think about it. Does liking this stream help you? One of the things I like about the doing stuff over here is that I don't have to hound people to like and subscribe, and I really don't care. Music has been cool ever since Vanilla Ice invented rap. True. True. How good are you as a troll? I'm not even gonna fucking front, dude. When it comes to like the modern idea of a troll, now people have been trolls since before the internet. We're talking like internet trolling. I am probably one of the most amazing trolls you'll ever talk to in your life. No joke. I probably have more experience doing that than your average like 10 trolls currently operating. Like I was, one of the early people. I invented this shit. You know what I mean? It wasn't just me, but I was on the internet before most people, and I was trolling before the internet, dude. I was using mass communication to troll people before the internet. So not to toot my own horn, but I am cap X100. Like, how do you feel? How do you figure it's cap? So I started trolling on the CB radio. I was 9. That would have been in 1989, 1990, right? My dad was a computer nerd, so we got the internet way before anybody else. And it took me like probably a week of being on the internet to figure out my favorite troll. So there used to be these chat rooms back in the day. They were very slow, and companies were starting to set them up. So I remember there was a chat room for Independence Day, right? You remember that movie, ID4? There was like one of these things where you could post about it. And I figured out how to use HTML scripting inside of the chat room to post pictures, and I would find the biggest pictures I could find of Independence Day related shit. Stuff that would take people like 20 minutes to load and it would shut down the chat room. When have you ever gotten some people really triggered by trolling? When I was a kid, the first time I triggered somebody was a trucker used his CB radio to locate us and drove up and down the street threatening to shoot us while shining a flashlight on all the houses on the street. That happened to me twice. The only thing that stopped me was that the FCC pulled me and my mother in to have a conference with the local sheriff because one of the guys I was trolling on the CB radio murdered his wife. And that guy had been sitting out in front of my house just like a couple months prior. That's what we call trolling with skin in the game. This ain't me behind a VPN and 28 alts. This is me saying shit that people could find you. And I would not stop until the FCC shut me down and forced my parents to rip down my aerial. That was before the internet, son. Okay, that's cool. I'll admit. Any trolling accomplishments within the last couple years? Are you aware of who I am? Do you even know who I am, dude? I troll for a living. I have currently active at 2 subreddits that are dedicated specifically to hating me. 2. I was the best football player in high school. What? See what I'm saying, dude? You're not listening. You're not listening. People are worked up about every little syllable that comes out of my mouth, bro. I just checked the H sub and it got shut down. Oh no! It'll be back. Oh no! The subs exist because they're weirdos, not because you troll them. Ah. So when somebody freaks out because of something you said, it's because you're a troll. When somebody freaks out to the point that a gaggle of them gather up and create a whole subreddit about you, it's nothing to do with you. Gatekeeper, you'll get caught up in the gatekeeper. Why are you gatekeeping, bro? I just told you I was trolling before you were even a glimmer in your daddy's eye. And you're over here still trying to gatekeep me. You want to take back the 100% cap yet? Or nah? Give myself way too much credit? Bro, let me ask you a question. And this is going to be a crazy question. You really need to ponder it. Who is sitting around during their free time watching who? I really want you to consider this deeply. Among the two of us, who is sitting around in their free time watching who? Enough said. Is that enough said? How many people you get? How many people watching you? How long have you worked on the internet farming reactions? It's 10 years for me making money. It's close to 20 on YouTube for me. Where you at, William? Got an answer to that question? Who is spending their free time on a Saturday watching who? K? No, that's not an answer. That's not an answer. That's not an answer, bud. Who is spending their free time on a Saturday watching who? I'm waiting. Enough said? So wait a minute. If I have troll cred and I defend it, then I'm the loser when I get proven wrong over and over? Who sitting around on a Saturday watching who? Who's enraptured by my presence to the point where they can't leave? Whose heart palpitates a little bit when I respond to them? Who is it? Is it you? Is it you, son? Or is it me? You are desperate for somebody to ban you. Dude, my killers are here. Nobody's banning you, bro. Nobody's banning you, bro. Got anything else? Or you feel like you're about wound down? You ban people all the time because you get salty over nothing. Yeah, I'm not going to ban you. I'm going to continue batting your corpse around until I'm done playing with it. Anything else? Nah, you can keep going. We'll see. You still got a question pending. You asked me for my creds, and I gave you just 2 offhanded examples of my cred, and you seem to dismiss both of them out of hand. I make mad fucking money trolling the internet. It has been my primary source of income for 10 fucking years, a decade, bro. The time I started doing this, you were probably still in Didos, sucking on your Chucky Baba. Yeah, he acted like he has no idea who I am at first, and then he starts talking. This is just one of the refugees from that subreddit, bro. You haven't answered me. When's the last troll in I did answer you. I told you I have 2 subreddits of butthurt people dedicated 24/7, 365 to hating my guts. I make my money eliciting reactions on the internet and have for a decade. I mean, most recently, I whipped up the entire Destiny community into a frenzy. Little farther back in time, the entire Vosh community was a flutter about Paul Zigo. Recently started being a flutter about Paul Zigo again. You need more? I once trolled my friend TJ so mercilessly that he wrecked his car in anger. Anything else? Any other questions, bro? Have I answered you now? Or are all of those bullshit? Because they're all documented. You got anything else? Those subs exist. Right. I troll butthurt neats. And I farm their engagement. You understand how this works, son? Are you really questioning me about the trolling game and you don't even understand how it works, sonny boy? Yeah. How many subreddits you got about you? How many William Erickson hate subs are there out there? How many people will pay you $5 over and over again to talk shit? How many times you trolled people into that? How many communities do you have talking about you? All aflutter about you when you pop in. Bro, the Destiny and Vosh communities hate you because you think you're an idiot, not because you trolled. Gatekeeping. Yeah, you walked into these communities and they got all butthurt, but it's because you're tarded. It's like, why would they get butthurt if I'm tarded? Oh, we agree on that, William. This is massive cope. You ask a question and then you just dismiss out of hand everything that I give you. We call that cope. Nuh-uh. La 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 la. Nuh-uh, 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 nuh-uh. Isn't that what cope is? We agree on that. This massive, massive cope. But I'll keep ragdolling you because I'm having fun doing it. Because the stuff you're coming with don't qualify. Okay, bud. Have you considered nuh-uh, Paul's ego? Wow, you got me there, bro. I just told you I've been trolling since I was 9 years old. Gave you receipts on the trolling. Answered every question you have. And you come back at me as, that don't apply. Nuh-uh. It's like, the judge of trolling is here. Yeah. Where you at, William? Where you at, Willie boy? Willie. Oh, Willie. Seems like you're real quiet. Did you get trolled? Did I troll you into silence? So answer this. You saying you've read all philosophy, embarrassing yourself on Destiny's stream. Was that trolling or being a massive moron? ¿Por qué no dos? Are you still here talking about it 8 months later? If yes, I'm going to say it was trolling. Of course, it's a Destiny fan. These people always reveal themselves eventually. I don't know who you are, bro, but what do you mean you're a troll? That's a cap. And then, like, fucking 5 minutes later, they're like, you do this and you do that, and you do this and you do that. It's like, you salty bitch. Considering you're still here 8 months later talking about it, I'd say troll job successful. And you ain't the only one. I'm dying, bro. These people cannot be actual and real. These people are not, they're like half actualized human beings, where half of them is, you know, your typical human being amalgamation of their experiences, and the other half of them is them desperately trying to emulate Destiny down to the speech pattern and turns of phrase. A lot of these people are just broken. 8 months later, and you're still here reliving a moment, and you want to say I'm not trolling. 8 months. Is it going to be 2 years now down the road and you're still doing this? Like, pretending that I haven't trolled you? Like, I think what everybody that's paying attention is wondering is, when are you going to pretend that I haven't trolled you into this whole interaction? My very existence caused you to seek me out, pretend you didn't know who I was, then reveal you're a Destiny fanboy. Boom, boom, boom. Like, this whole interaction has been a fucking capital troll job. Do you see that? You're having fun with this? Anybody see that Wojak mask where they're smiling, but behind the mask you can see that they're crying? I think that might apply. I think that might apply right now. Yeah. Dude, I got dunked on for the fun of it. You're the sad crying Apustaya, and I'm the based and red-pilled Groiper. You are the sad little Apustaya, and I am the based and red-pilled Groiper. Now what? William might as well have come in and said, "You're gay, loser, lol." I mean, like, it's just he's trying to salvage some face out of this. Like, he came in, played stupid games, won stupid prizes, and now we're trying to salvage a little scrape of ego. Now we're putting on the smiling Wojak mask to hide the tears and pretending that it was just, I'm just having fun, bro. But you misses his comment. He's going to be typing away frantically in a Destiny chat later about how he owned you. Of course he is. But right now, he's feeling the burn. Bro, you made a fool out of yourself on Destiny stream, and instead of owning up to it, you're coping and saying you were trolling, and you surround yourself with simps to delude yourself. Wild. Wow. The Destiny-isms. Wild, bro. It's wild, bro. Yeah. We all see the tears streaming out from underneath the mask, bro. You can just pop that off. You can just pop that off and admit that I've had you wrapped up for about 20 minutes, ragdolling you. Ignore what I just said. I read it out loud. You think you're gonna like lean? So basically, let's walk back through your shit. Let me just look at everything that you've said, because I wanna see that beginning. Let me go all the way back. Yeah, here we go. Right here. Let's see. I guess rap isn't your music. Do you like Lil Wayne, Cap X100, right? So you came in here pretending you didn't know who I was, then slowly revealed that 8 months later, you're still all worked up about a Destiny appearance. And you want to argue that I haven't spent the last 20 minutes ragdolling you in front of my chat as you desperately try and lean on the accomplishments of Destiny. If I was pwned and devastated by that, you had nothing to do with it, son. So how does it feel? Let's just give your premise validity. How does it feel that the guy that was epically ragdolled by Destiny just fucked on you for 20 minutes straight? That must feel bad, huh? The guy that got epically bent over and butt fucked by Destiny just ragdolled you for 20 minutes in front of a fucking audience, bro. How's that feel? That's gotta suck. That's gotta feel pretty bad. I haven't gotten anything on you, bro. Now who's coping? You'd be so embarrassed. Well, I mean, a lot of these people lack the capacity for embarrassment because, once again, they got the Wojak mask up. I'm having just as much fun as you. Okay, dude. Smiling Wojak mask. We get it. We get it. Have fun. Have fun. The smiling Wojak mask is 100% not obvious to everybody, bro. You're having a great time. Coming from the the guy. Yeah, the guy regarded as an idiot in Destiny's community just ragdolled you for 20 minutes. That must make you the bottom of the fucktard barrel, huh? You want to answer that? Is that fun? And I'm the guy lacking self-awareness. Yeah, exactly. I know it's a crazy revelation, but yes. The Paul Destiny bridge burned. Destiny doesn't even like sit around and let people pop into a show anymore. I haven't said like, I'll check every once in a while and see if he's hanging around. But he doesn't seem to do that anymore. He's having his fortress arc because of all the allegations and shit, I think. And he's afraid people are going to pop in and troll him about that, so why risk it? I mean, I still have perms and shit. I can still see the hidden rooms and go into the fucking live stream room and everything. He's just never in there. Kind of sucks. I'd be happy to talk to Destiny again. And I definitely think that, like, say what you want about me, I'm not a guy that's looking to, like, troll Destiny about his personal life and shit. I don't really fucking care about any of that shit. That's for, a judge and jury and the legal process to decide what happens with that. It's a fucking civil trial. Destiny can't stop mentioning Hassan, even if it's off topic. Feels weird. Yeah, there's definitely, like, this, like, hate boner kind of, like, mortal enemy thing that happens with these high-level political streamers that just seems, like, very fucking, like, parasocial and weird. It's like, I think both of them have each other's names in their mouths constantly, whining and bitching like a couple of fucking middle school girls in the locker room, dude. Just like lame ass shit, bro. Super fucking lame ass shit. Ooh. I'm pretty sure Destiny craves Hassan. You think so? You think that's what it is? You think he's got a Hassan boner? It could be. It could be. Well, anyway, have fun, guys. I will talk to you some other time. Bye.